Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s decision to drop out of the 2024 U.S. presidential race and endorse Donald Trump has taken the political world by surprise. Known for his strong independence and outspoken views, RFK Jr.'s move has shaken up the campaign landscape in ways that few saw coming. So, what does this endorsement mean for Trump's chances of winning the presidency? And how could this new partnership shape the 2024 election? Well, stay tuned to find out. The 2024 presidential race is shaping up to be one of the most pivotal elections in recent history. With the country sharply split on important political, economic, and social issues, each contender is vying for the support of the undecided population. Thus, what distinguishes this contest is the growing significance of endorsements, which have the power to change voters' perceptions and greatly accelerate a candidate's momentum. Political endorsements, especially from influential people, have a big impact on election results. These endorsements give a candidate credibility and help them reach out to voters who may not normally support them. The endorsement of well-known individuals may prove to be critical in choosing the person who will steer the United States of America into its next phase as Election Day approaches. Because of this, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s support for Donald Trump is a significant turning point in the 2024 presidential contest and has unquestionable political weight. The collaboration between Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Donald Trump represents the long-growing anti-establishment movement's strong solidarity. Both men have a tremendous ambition to topple Washington's entrenched authority, although coming from quite different political backgrounds. What unites them is their will to confront a system they believe is growing increasingly indifferent to the issues faced by average Americans. More than merely a political ploy, this alliance against the establishment aims to topple the systems that they see to have put corporate profits, excessive government power, and bureaucratic rule before individual liberties and rights. Both Trump and RFK Jr. have similar views on how to run the country. Both speak out in favor of openness, an end to overbearing regulation, and an emphasis on defending individual liberty. They both believe that the Washington elite is involved in the continuation of corruption, is manipulating the system for its own benefit, and is oblivious to the issues that ordinary people face. A rising number of people who are tired with established political parties and long for leaders who aren't afraid to challenge the current quo find resonance in their common vision of governmental transformation. This opposition to the Washington elite is grounded in action rather than simply words. Throughout his first year in office, Trump showed that he was prepared to go against established political conventions and confront the powerful elite. Over his term in office, Trump made a point of taking on global organizations that he believed to be hostile to American interests, deregulate some businesses, and reduce government bureaucracy. In a similar manner, RFK Jr. has devoted a large part of his career to advocating for corporate influence to be stopped, particularly when it comes to environmental and health policies. Trump's wider criticism of the unfair ties between big businesses and government agencies is indicative of his broader criticism of the political establishment. Together, Trump and RFK Jr. make up a formidable force in the pro-American, anti-corruption campaign. Voters find them appealing because of their steadfast dedication to eradicating corruption, returning power to the people, and preserving American sovereignty. This movement presents Democrats and Republicans as defenders of the voice of the people, driven by resentment at both parties for failing to bring about significant change. Together, RFK Jr. and Trump make it very evident that flimsy political changes are out of date. They're dedicated to removing the obstacles that have prevented significant change from occurring and giving Americans the ability to take back control of their destiny and government. Donald Trump's 2024 presidential campaign will benefit strategically from Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s endorsement, especially in terms of drawing in independent and disenchanted voters. For a considerable amount of time, voters, many of whom are dissatisfied with the two main political parties' dichotomous choices, have been drawn to RFK Jr. His candid opinions on matters like personal liberties, the environment, and government accountability, all topics he's challenged both Democrats and Republicans on, allow him to connect with his demographic. RFK Jr. has given these people a voice since they're wary of the established political system and are looking for alternatives to the conventional party lines. His backing of Trump is significant because it brings together two opponents of the status quo who are committed to overturning it despite their differences. For people who feel ignored by both parties and have lost trust in politics, this coalition is a good alternative. For a long time, RFK Jr.'s followers have appreciated his willingness to challenge popular narratives and his independence from the establishment. And now that he has endorsed Trump, his voters will probably see Trump's candidacy similarly, as a challenge to a political system that has become inert and disengaged from the issues facing regular Americans. RFK Jr.'s backing is especially important in battleground states where elections are occasionally decided by incredibly narrow margins. In states like Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Michigan, the outcome could be significantly influenced by the independent vote. After initially supporting RFK Jr.'s independent campaign, these people now have a motive to support Trump, since RFK Jr.'s influence may tip the scales in important swing states. During his administration, Donald Trump made audacious choices and accomplished notable goals that showed his potent leadership. Throughout his administration, Trump gave top priority to initiatives aimed at boosting national security, reviving the American economy, and elevating the country's status internationally. He oversaw some of the best job markets the nation had seen in decades, as well as significant tax cuts that helped working families and American companies. His administration's economic growth policy included deregulation as a major element, particularly for industries that have been adversely affected by cumbersome restrictions. People all around the country responded favorably to Trump's promise to put America first, especially those who felt neglected by previous administrations. His work on judicial reform is one of his most notable achievements. During his presidency, Trump appointed 3 conservative justices to the Supreme Court, creating a conservative majority that will influence future developments in American law. He also appointed hundreds of federal judges to ensure that his influence on the court would last long after his term ended. Furthermore, Trump's foreign policy choices, including mediating Middle East peace agreements and firmly opposing China's unfair trade practices, cemented his reputation as a leader who wasn't hesitant to make difficult choices that would benefit the nation. The support by RFK Jr. demonstrates his opinion that Trump is most qualified to steer the United States into the future. Known for his opposition to government abuses of power and corruption, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. believes that Trump is a leader who is equally dedicated to upending the powerful political class. Trump is an obvious partner in the struggle for a more open and accountable government because of his willingness to take on bureaucracy and corporate interests head-on. RFK Jr. has always been an opponent of political structures that put the interests of the powerful above those of the people, and he thinks that Trump is the only contender who can actually penetrate the layers of established control and bring about meaningful change. While some would cave in to political pressure, Trump has consistently shown tenacity and determination in pursuing his goals. President Trump's ability to lead under pressure has been a distinguishing feature of his administration, whether it was creating a stronger military, controlling immigration, or negotiating trade deals that gave priority to American workers. RFK Jr. is aware that good leadership entails making the correct choices, even when those choices are unpopular with the political establishment. Trump is respected by people who understand the necessity for strong, moral leadership, like RFK Jr., as well as by his fans due to his history of defying criticism. Trump is a breath of fresh air in a political environment where many leaders seem more focused on appearances than actual accomplishments. Having personally witnessed the effects of ineffective leadership in Washington, RFK Jr. knows that only a strong leader like Trump can counter the factors preventing significant change. RFK Jr. is letting supporters and the general public know that Trump is the one who can lead the nation through its present difficulties and into a better future by fully supporting his campaign. From here on out, Trump has an easy route to victory. He has gathered a sizable and varied coalition of voters who are prepared for substantive reform. He has a major edge because of his robust campaign infrastructure and his capacity to establish a personal connection with people. Trump is in a strong position to win the presidency in 2024 thanks to his expanding support from a wide range of political perspectives and his momentum. It's become more and more obvious as the election approaches that Trump is not just the frontrunner but also the one more suited to steer the United States of America into a prosperous and powerful new age. So what do you think about RFK Jr.'s endorsement of Donald Trump? Do you believe this will propel Trump to victory in 2024? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more updates on the 2024 election. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.